A former Drake hater is the current laughingstock of the internet because he decided to come on his YouTube channel and confess to something he shouldn't have confessed to. And once academics, Sean C., and other people got a hold of this confession, it was just bad for him.
Oh man. Real spit, dog. I owe some of y'all an apology, man. Real talk. I apologize. My bad, bro. In all seriousness, my bad. Though that rap beef was more drama than lyricism anyway, there is that. Like, it wasn't about bars. It was about how I can slander you the most, right? And the whole PDF file label is what really, slam dunked the rap beef in K-Dot's favor, man. I know there's speculation and conspiracies about what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not even getting into any of that because don't nobody know nothing about nothing. But what I do know is that from what I can recall and from me going back and seeing how I was acting on the reactions, and I don't want to come across as like serious, bro. Like, I am serious, bro, but it ain't that fucking serious. I just know that, I started this channel, to focus on hip hop, focus on the bars, right? Be objective about this, and not no bandwagoning, not no biases, just, focus on the bars and calling what it is, bro. And I know just from recalling my mind state during that time, dog, I had the K-Dot lens. You know what I'm saying? I had the K-Dot lens, bro. And I know I minimized, the gas Drake was spitting, bro. And I know I was doing extra, bro. So I just peeped my reaction to What Did I Miss, dog? And I mean, just me going back looking at that, dog, that was so fucking cringe. You know what I mean?
I have nothing against Stevie Knight. I'm sure he's a great guy outside of content. I don't know him. But when I first heard this, and trust me, it gets worse. There's more. And it gets unbelievable. But the first thing that came to my mind was, this right here is the product of a content creator not having their own convictions and belief system. And their belief system and their moral compass is essentially how much they can monetize on YouTube. That's it. That's where it stops. Because he don't have any convictions or a belief system, he didn't really believe anything he was really saying during that time. He just felt like there was this Kendrick Lamar wave going on. So he was gonna switch up his entire stance over the last decade, and he was gonna be anti-Drake. Even though he was a Drake fan and Drake stan online for years, he was gonna turn on Drake. He was gonna say things about Drake he didn't believe. He was gonna downplay and minimize Drake's contributions to hip hop, essentially because it was popular. And when he did it, Kendrick Lamar fans rewarded him. But the thing that these content creators don't really understand when it comes to content creation is you have to be rooted in what you believe in because trends come and go. And you look silly if one season you was adamant and like you believed in this, and then the next season you believe in this, and then the next season you believe in this. Right? So when Kendrick Lamar was on top, you was a Kendrick Lamar stan. You was a K-bot. You was going against Drake. Drake was the enemy. Now Drake is back on top. Drake went from being the enemy to now you love Drake. So what's next? When Kendrick Lamar drops an album, you're not back to hating Drake? It makes himself look silly. And people online really made him have it.
That so fucking cringe, dog. I'm like, bro. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I remember all the hate I was getting in the comments. I'm like, bro, it ain't that serious, but I get it now. You know what I mean? And it took me reviewing the Iceman and seeing, Drake doing what he was doing lyrically to really give me some clarity on the whole. And even with the Iceman, I couldn't hate on the Iceman if I tried, dog. It was like that. Lyrically, it was like that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't never heard Drake punching the way he was punching. I can recall when I first did a breakdown of push-ups, bro. I was so like off Drake, I didn't give push-ups a fair shake. So much so that I had to revisit push-ups and really see what all Drake did with that fucking verse. That's a perfect depiction of how I moved through the whole fucking rap beef. And like I said, my bad, dog. My bad. Players up, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got excited. K-Dot was on top of the world. This was his fucking chance to tear the fucking industry down and all that, bro. But even that is bullshit, bro. You know what I mean? Even that is bullshit. You know what I mean? My whole mindset even about K-Dot is changed as far as this whole thing, bro. Literally got to just sit in the pocket as someone observing people dropping bars and not really focus on who they are as a person, because at the end of the day, we don't know what any of these motherfuckers are doing behind the scenes. We don't know who these people are as real people. We just know the art they putting out, and that's what I'm going to treat it as such, just art. You know what I mean? And I dropped the ball on that, so my bad. But Drake reeled me back in with the bars he's dropping, dog, for sure.
The mistake here is obvious and apparent. First off, a Drake fan is not seeing this and saying, "Oh my God, thank you, Stevie Knight, you're older." No, doing this when Drake, I guess, did not look like it was on an up and up would have probably gotten you points. But doing this right now while Drake fans is in a celebratory mode and tone is not going to win over any Drake fans. They're just going to see this as bandwagon activities. Right now, the bandwagon activities is cool, right? If your team is like the Washington Wizards, right? You want any support and any ally you can get. But if you got the prime Golden State Warriors when KD is on there, bandwagons don't get welcomed, right? Because you look down upon bandwagons if you guys are on top. Now that Drake is on top, the bandwagons is looking down upon. So you're not going to win over any Drake fans. And when you go as far as he went in this video where he said that Drake won the war against Kendrick Lamar, well, you're going to undoubtedly lose that Kendrick Lamar fan base that you've been grifting from, right? You've been LARPing as this Kendrick Lamar super stan. Well, you're going to lose the audience that you built from the grift once you acknowledge Drake the winner of the war. So essentially, you then isolated and lost both fan bases. Now, where do you go from here?
Kendrick clearly won the battle. Right, clearly won the rap beef. But as far as the war, bro, asking me now at this point and what has taken place thus far, dog, Drake won to me. Just for the mere fact that he was able to just shrug that label off. Like he said it in one of his songs, bro. Like anybody wears that jacket, it's a funeral. Meaning the pedophile jacket. If what just happened to me happened to anybody else, their career would be over. Right? But no, it literally affected me the opposite way. It catapulted me. You know what I'm saying? It catapulted me, bro. It catapulted me so much that I overtook where Kendrick was and some, bro. I remember that, dog. I just had a conversation with my partner in the gym talking about, what has taken place with that rap beef, bro. Like with the effects of the rap beef to Kendrick's career, it gave him an anomaly, right? His fucking numbers just took off to the moon. Right, but then when everything subsided and everything came back to normal, bro, Kendrick came back down to where he is, bro. But you see, Drake has been steady declining this whole time. Now I said this before. I said what was an anomaly for Kendrick was normality for Drake. Right? Y'all remember that, bro? When Kendrick just overtook everybody in hip hop, bro, and his fucking Spotify streams went from like 40 million a month to like 70 million a month, and he had just lapped Drake. I think he was like 10 million more than him at one point. Go back and look at that now, bro. Like Drake is up almost at 100 million now, and Kendrick is back where he was when the rap beef ended.
Genuinely, I think bro was expecting a parade. I think he was expecting an applause, but he got the opposite. All right. He didn't get the OVO parade. They didn't welcome Stevie Knight into OVO. No, people like academics, Chauncey, and others went out of their way to publicly denounce this dude and label why what he did is super corny. Now, here's what Chauncey had to say about Stevie Knight.
Kendrick just overtook everybody in hip hop, bro, and his fucking Spotify streams went from like 40 million a month to like 70 million a month.
So you saying the numbers is what's affecting your listening skills right now? Because I don't understand what the point of bringing this up is. I don't. Be a Drake fan if you want to be a Drake fan. Be a Kendrick fan if you want to be a Kendrick fan. I don't understand when we talking about the music that you listening to, what that has like the place in the conversation where that comes into place. I don't understand that part. I don't.
And
Kendrick drops maybe once every 5 years, as you see, maybe once every 6, and Drake drops literally once per year. And then he also just dropped 50 songs. I understand that even without that 50 song drop, Drake still is smashing it from a streaming perspective and from a numbers perspective. But let's not act like the amount of songs and the amount of content Drake comes out with doesn't massively inflate the amount of visibility that he has, also while being the biggest rapper alive. Let's not pretend as if, you know, we're not subject to hearing Drake something, no matter where you are, dependent upon or based off of how much content he's flooded the marketplace with. You just have to acknowledge that. You're going to hear him because he refuses to be left out of the algorithm.
It's kind of, it's interesting seeing opposite end of the spectrums cook this dude, and deservingly so. Sean C., who's this delusional, irrational Drake hater. You even see how much of a Drake hater he is right here, where he brings up like Drake stats and how Drake like dropping like Iceman and her BT is apparently like overkill and is unfair, right? And it's inflation of numbers. Bro, Drake dropped Sexy Song for You February of 2025. He dropped Iceman recently. He went a year plus without posting music, and he was still the #1 stream rapper. He was the most streamed rapper in a year where Kendrick Lamar had the Super Bowl. When Usher did the Super Bowl, he had like 150% inflation in his numbers, like everybody else. Kendrick Lamar had the Super Bowl stimulus package, 150% inflation. You don't say, hey man, the Super Bowl inflated Kendrick Lamar numbers. When Kendrick Lamar surpassed 100 million monthly listeners, nobody said, hey, it was the Super Bowl that got him that number, just like the Super Bowl got Usher those numbers, right? But Drake, who was still the #1 rapper, the #1 stream rapper, in an era where Kendrick Lamar had the Super Bowl. So what's the excuse then? What was the excuse then? Isn't a rapper supposed to drop music? If dropping music is an inflation of numbers, then what are we doing? So the Super Bowl is not an inflation of numbers, right? But dropping music is. So so he cooks him, right? Now he's delusional, irrational, but academics, again, on the other end of the spectrum, cook Stevie Knight equally.
This type of dick rider is what Drake was talking about on this song. I'm going to play what Drake said to him. Hey, not because you apologize, we don't still think you a dick rider. Like, yo, you just apologizing dick rider. Yo, I think he trying to get like a pat on the back or something. Like, yo, oh yeah, nah, he finally came to his senses. Nah, like, yo, what the f***? You think about to get a cookie or something? What you want, like a Honda Civic? Like, yo, man, as I said, all y'all niggas who finally came to y'all senses, shut the f*** up and keep y'all asses in the back. You in the back of the championship parade. Don't try to sneak up here and grab the trophy. It's hating niggas like you that made that to really like do something undeniable. Cause you was hating when he was trying to give it up fairly. He had to come through, he had to spin the block and Swiss cheese the block for you niggas to know there's a body that was caught. He gave you leggers you ain't learned. He hit you in the shoulder, you still talking. He Swiss cheese a whole block, drop a whole fucking nuke on it. Now you're like, okay, you finally caught a body. Yeah.
Stephen Knight, I'll be real, bro. You should have kept that in the drafts, man. You should have probably progressively get more towards the middle, right? Just do it naturally. Start making more videos about Drake and Kendrick. Start offering more neutral, unbiased takes and just have people figure it out themselves, man. You making this video just made you look crazy, bro. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Do y'all believe this was a career-ending move? I think so. All right, if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out why this Michael Jackson situation is really crazy. You don't want to miss it. I break it all down in this video right here. Send me a hype by clicking the hype button below if you really want to show support. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.